All right, let's jump right into a really wild idea at the edge of artificial intelligence. How can a machine know something it has never, ever seen before? I mean, it sounds kind of like science fiction, right? But it's happening right now, and believe me, it is changing everything. But hey, before we get into the AI, let's talk about you, your brain specifically. So imagine you've seen horses your whole life, and you know what stripes are. Pretty simple. If I show you a picture of a zebra for the very first time and just say, hey, it's basically a horse with black and white stripes, your brain instantly gets it. You know exactly what it is. See, what you're doing is connecting old ideas to understand something brand new. And for the longest time, we thought only humans could pull off that kind of abstract thinking. Well, that's not true anymore. AI is starting to figure it out too. So yeah, let's get into how this works. To really wrap our heads around this, we first have to understand what researchers call the zebra problem. And it's exactly what we just talked about, that amazing ability to recognize something new, not because you've seen it before, but because you can relate it to things you already know. And look, this isn't just me trying to make a clever comparison. It's right there in the research. They are explicitly saying that this new AI technique is designed to mirror our own ability to reason about the world. It's about putting pieces together, making connections, and figuring things out without anyone holding its hand. Okay, so we've got the human side of things. But what's the AI's answer to the zebra problem? Well, that brings us right to the heart of this whole thing, learning from zero. This is what's known as zero-shot learning, or ZSL for short. And the name really tells you everything you need to know. It's a way for an AI model to correctly identify things that were 100% completely absent from its training. The key here is zero examples, none. It's kind of mind-blowing when you really think about it. And you have to understand what a huge deal this is. Normally, to teach an AI what a cat is, you've got to feed it thousands, maybe millions of labeled pictures of cats. It's brute force memorization. But with a zero-shot model, you could just give it a description, like a deer-like animal with striped legs, and it could pick out an okapi, an animal it's never seen. It's a total game changer. And just to put this into perspective, let's look at how it stacks up. You've got few-shot learning, which, you guessed it, needs a couple of examples. Then there's one-shot learning, which needs just one. But zero-shot, it's in a league of its own. It needs nothing. It's not about memorizing examples at all. It's about a deeper kind of understanding, what the research calls semantic abstraction. Okay, so here's the million-dollar question. How in the world does this even work? How do you learn from absolutely nothing? Well, it's not magic. It's actually something even cooler. It's all about building this incredible internal map of ideas. Let's take a look inside. So, I want you to imagine a huge, sprawling map. But instead of cities and countries, it's a map of, well, everything. Every concept you can think of. And things that are alike, like king and queen, they're neighbors on this map. While things that are totally different, like king and ketchup, are miles apart. That's the basic idea. Now, there's a fancy technical name for this map, a semantic space. But don't let the name scare you. It's really just a mathematical way of saying it's a map where closeness equals relatedness. And the most amazing part? It's not just a map for words. An actual picture of an orange can be placed on this map right next to the word orange. So how does the AI actually build this thing? Well, it's basically a four-step process. First, it looks at a ton of images it does know, your basic stuff, horses, dogs, cats. At the same time, it's reading a huge chunk of the internet, learning how words relate to each other. Step 3 is where the magic happens. It builds that shared map, connecting the image of a horse to the word horse. So for the final step, when you ask it to find a zebra, it just looks for the empty spot on the map that's super close to horse, but also near the concept of stripes. And bam, it's found it. Okay, so building this incredible map isn't just guesswork. The AI has a very specific set of powerful tools it uses to make it all happen. Let's open up the toolkit. The whole thing is built on this core idea called transfer learning, which is really just a fancy way of saying reusing what you already know. From there, you've got a few key ingredients. There's knowledge transfer, which is putting that idea into practice. Then you have cross-modal learning. This is the really cool part that lets the AI connect different worlds, like pictures and text. And finally, label-embedding. That's how it takes a word like zebra and turns it into a specific coordinate, a spot on the meaning map. And when you put all of these tools together, they let the AI do something that the researchers call semantic bridging. I love that term because it's exactly what it sounds like. It's building a bridge between what it sees and what it reads. It's connecting the world of images to the world of language. All right, That's a lot of theory, I know. But this is way more than just a cool science project. This stuff is already out there, in the real world, and it's powering what is truly the next frontier for AI. And chances are you've already used it without even realizing it. You know, OpenAI's clip model, the one that can find any image from just a text description, that's pure zero-shot learning. The incredible reasoning power you see in models like the GPT series, a lot of that comes from these exact principles. It's even being built into robots with models like Palm E. This is happening now. So here's the big takeaway, the thing to really remember. Zero-shot learning isn't just another neat trick. It's a fundamental shift in how we think about AI. We're moving away from these really rigid systems that only know what they've been spoon-fed, and we're moving towards something that feels a lot more flexible, more adaptable, a lot more like us. And that leaves us with a pretty massive question, doesn't it? One that really pushes us to think. If an AI can start to understand things it's never actually been shown, if it can reason and make connections all on its own, where does that line between just crunching numbers and actual, genuine understanding, where does that line even begin? That's a question we're all going to be grappling with for a long, long time.